Alright everyone, welcome back. And we are here to find out what doom I have brought upon the world. So without further ado, let's just get started. Yellow dye. Okay then. Oh Shalyn, I was just about to call for you. I'm afraid we've received another call for assistance. This one comes from Razatan. The others have assembled in the main hall to discuss the situation. You must join them at once. Actually, let me adjust my volume because I did turn it up at one point. Alright, that's probably better. Maybe it won't be bleeding quite so much through my microphone. Hopefully. Ah, there you are. Our worst fears have come to pass, but moments ago we received grim tidings from our contact in Razatan. Vile beasts have appeared as if out of nowhere, claiming one victim after the next. What's more, they say the very sky burns above them. Of course, it had to strike home first. Good gods, are the final days already upon us? It would appear so. Sadly, that is all the information we have at present. No doubt the people of Razatan are busy fighting for their lives. We must go there at once. They need our help. Agreed. Kryl, you'd best remain here with Tataru and gather what knowledge you can. You are in no condition for a long journey, I imagine. Very well. Similar phenomena have been observed elsewhere, and if so, we must know about it at once. Be safe out there, yes? Let us first make for Yedlamad. We must prepare for what stuff and things. Stumble over a word and you miss the rest of the line. Whee! If the might of Vitra is not enough to hold these fiends at bay, Razatan is in dire straits indeed. We must go at once. If this calamity has indeed come to Thavner, then it is all too likely that Corvos across the strait finds itself in a similar predicament. Even now it remains an imperial province, and as such it may be some time until we can ascertain the situation there. We can only hope that Kryl and Tataru will be able to provide us some insight sooner rather than later. In ancient times, the phenomenon was observed in places where the celestial currents had grown weakest. 'Twould seem there is a stagnant sea of ether in the skies above Razatan, unbeknownst even to Vritra. I would rather accompany you to Thavner, but Raha's concerns are well-founded. The last thing I would want is to be a burden. And so I will remain here with Tataru and do all I can to gather knowledge that might serve us in the battle to come. Godspeed you in your journey, Shalyn. We do not wield the creation magics as the ancients did, yet still these abominations appear. Whatever could be the cause? With the fall of the tower in Thavner, the Hanish were beginning to enjoy a semblance of peace, and now this. Sorry for mic bumps by accident, it happens occasionally. I don't mean to, I'm sorry. No similar creatures have been sighted here in Sharlayan. That said, the early signs may manifest in other regions ere long. We must be prepared for every eventuality. I'm glad for Kryl's support. I'll also call upon Hoary Boulder and the others to assist us. They will be our eyes and ears in the field, as they have been many times before. Alright, well then, if I'm going to Thavner, I'm at least going to put on my clothes for there. And And also, if we get to visit other regions, I get other parts of the map, then I get to finally settle in my mind, try to figure out exactly where Shallan lives there. Throw in a little side story of her finding her mom and Papa Gunther. Let us change glamour blade link. There we go. There we go. Now we are ready to go to Thavnair. Pay a buttload of gil because they raise the prices. But what are we to do? I'm not a fan of how much it costs to teleport these days. I know it's a reaction to inflation, but still, not all of us are crafters, so not all of us are saving up and making a crap ton of gil all the time.
And lo, vile beasts did rise.
Oh, you're quoting the Amarat dungeon now. Oof. Yeah, Shallan is very, very concerned and really wants to find her mama.
Leaving naught in their wake but blood and ash.
You're definitely quoting the Amarat dungeon.
Scorches earth and boils seas.
Ugh.
And our sins ascend unto the heavens. 3 dooms to unmake all we were.
The sky burns. The final days are truly upon us.
My friends, I trust you have heard the news.
We have. What can you tell us of the situation, Your Excellency?
Yeah, wherever they live, they've probably both gone to Razat
Last
Hunt
night,
for
the isle was rocked
safety
by
at this point.
tremors, and the earth itself cried out. Aloft, the heavens began to burn. From all about, unholy beasts, the likes of which we had never seen, came forth in fury and rage. No. To say they came forth would be inexact. The people of Radzat-Han themselves transformed into these baleful fiends.
That's unfortunate to hear. Ooh.
Though the phenomenon was observed throughout our lands, the first creature, the largest and most dreadful of the lot, wrought havoc upon us here in our fair city. Though they bear superficial resemblance to divinities of legend, they are ungodly abominations. The people decry them as blasphemies. The large one's rampage has since taken it to the northern reaches of the island. I mean to dispatch our radiant host in an attempt to quell the threat.
And what of Vritra?
Vritra too makes for the north of his own accord, and yet he knows the blasphemy and its minions were but yesterday his beloved people. I pray his boundless compassion and mercy does not deter him from taking unenviable but necessary action.
Understood. I ask that you allow us to aid you in quelling this threat.
I just got very dark potential thoughts in my head.
Help us yet again. I have no words to express my gratitude. Our regiments approach the north from several directions, with a number of units set to depart from the docks of Yedlin. They will make landfall in an area of dense jungle, where one can expect to encounter dangers even beyond the fell beasts we hunt. I leave you to your preparation. You will find me at the docks when you are ready to depart.
Because me with my evil ideas.
We're as prepared as we'll ever be. Let's go.
It's like, well, could very well be Shallan and Graha's mama has turned into such a beast. It's a possibility. And then Shallan would feel guilty because she knows it's her fault because she killed Zodiark. Oh my, the levels of despair that would cause her. Ugh. It's like Xenos doesn't need to cause her despair, she's caused it herself. Oof. That is... oof. Big oof. Usually the most dangerous foe in a worm's domain is the worm themselves. If I were Vritra, I would be as offended as I am horrified. I shall survey the environs closely as we go about our search. There may be some clue as to how we can combat this phenomenon. Innocent souls twisted and reformed into unholy abominations. I thought I had seen the last of such nightmares with the Sin Eaters. We must act quickly, Shallan. Every moment we tarry means another soul may be lost to this nightmare. Yeah! Yeah! Just considering the thought that just crossed my mind, Graha! Oh my. Oh, my evil brain. It's just like, let's cause despair. Let's cause even more despair than necessary. If it's true the people themselves have transformed into beasts, why, even the Radiant Host could suffer the same fate. Or us, perish the thought. Don't worry, no matter how grim things may get, I won't lose heart. I'm ready whenever you need me. So the beasts were not born of creation magics. So the beasts are not born of creation magics run amok, but are rather the altered forms of the people themselves. In that sense, this manifestation of the final days differs from what we witnessed in Amarat. And for the worse, I dare say. If any man, woman, or child could become a beast at any moment, there is no telling whence the next threat might come. We must exercise extreme caution. Everyone has assembled, yes? I thank you for lending us your aid in our battle against the blasphemy. Let us review our plan of attack. I would have you board the boat and circle around to the north side of the island. There you will find a dense jungle we call Vanaspati. It is a sacred wood, home to many temples and a number of villages. Vritra and the Radiant Host have gone there ahead of us. I ask that you join them and do all in your power to destroy this blasphemy. Oh, it's a dungeon. Vanaspati now accessible. Alright then. Kind of wasn't... I guess I should have, because I'm level 85 now, so it kind of makes sense, but... I pray we are not too late to spare the settlements within Vanaspati the fate that has befallen our city. Once we meet with Vritra and the Radiant Host, they should be able to tell us more of the present situation. Innocent souls twisted and reformed into unholy abominations. I thought I had seen... Okay, I'm guessing they all say the same thing. Okay, they all say the same stuff. Alright, form a party.
I stand ever ready.
I'm gonna take Graha as a DPS this time. That's a good thing about Graha. He can be whatever you need him to be. Yeah, my thoughts just turned extremely dark. And like, I'm gonna have to really think about if this is what I want or not, because, yeah. Oh boy. Dance with me, brother. This feels... The way this is set up feels so similar to just Holminster Switch. It really does feel like eerily like Holminster Switch, like a combination of Holminster Switch and Amarat, which, ironically enough, are the first and last dungeons of 5.0, and this is the mid-dungeon of Endwalker, so I don't know, it's just interesting the way it's giving me that feeling. Goodness, I just have to really think about whether that's what I want to have happen or not. Because that is extremely dark, but it could very well be a thing. Hi, Breacha.
Heed me. These are children of Thavner. Forgive me. I could do them no harm.
I may?
To be completely honest, Breacha, I don't want to do this either. My mother could very well be among these. Papa Gunther picked up adventuring lately at some point, because Gunther is actually based on my dad's character, if he ever gets around to playing this again. But, yeah, Krista is very much up in the air whether or not she survives this. So, oh, that would be depressing, but appropriate. Oh, goodness. I like to cause Shallan misery, don't I?
If this is the only way.
Come on, Breacha.
Pray continue onward.
Godspeed, Breacha. I also have to keep in mind that this wouldn't just be Shallan's mama, this would be Graha's mama too. Unless we happen to meet his mom in Corvos or something at some point, which if that happens, things will become awkward. I will have to readjust everything. Although considering his village shipped him off to Sharlayan, I don't know. I'll have to really think on it. Figure things out. Those freaking worms. You were a boss. Why are you a normal enemy now? Hopefully you're not gonna drop meteors on me this time. Okay, it seems to be just the two, so I'm gonna go single target. Alright, this looks like a boss arena. Yep. Ugh.
I may.
Ow.
Try and stop!
Oh, this is gonna hurt. No, okay, I need to learn how that misdirection thing works. Well, count my first dungeon death. I have no idea how that misdirection thing is working. looks like we all got hit with it, so maybe there's just not a way to prevent it. Oh, nope, nope. Well, I got a Vuln stack, but I'm still alive.
My turn! There.
I'm not sure what to do about that, to be perfectly honest. Well, I made it. Just honestly still not sure what to do about that misdirection part.
What is this vile presence I sense? The horde draweth near. Be on your guard.
Because it looked to me like, I don't know, despite the NPCs apparently having the debuff as well, they could still direct themselves where they needed to go. I'm not sure how to manage that. Oh boy. That is unfortunate.
I may?
And for the next boss, let's see how this one screws me over.
Prepare yourself!
They really like using that sort of thing for its tank busters, don't they? Alright, that wasn't as bad. Again, I feel like the first one is probably simpler than I'm making it out to be. That's usually the case when it comes to bosses that kill me. I'm just not sure what the proper way to deal with it actually is. I guess is the reason why the people are turning into the creatures themselves is based on how we use creation magics now, because if the theory holds correct, summoning is basically the remnant of what creation magics were, and creation magics require ether and an object, and as we've seen with Isael and others as we've gone along, people can become that object. So that's why I'm guessing people are now becoming the monsters, if I were to theorize. could possibly just be, like, not necessarily worship, but, you know, because they are loved ones, that could very well be the reason why they're turning, because they are a focal point of someone's affections. To everyone is the whole world to someone, I think. Oh, look, it's these things. Alright, we're just gonna focus on one at a time. RNG was not too nice to me this time. More friends. Thancred, if you would be so kind as to do your job. Thank you. You know, kind of making Praetorium references, because, you know, everyone has played Praetorium a bajillion times at this point, but what if the parasite that La Habrea wanted to burn out of the planet, like, he thought it was Hydaelyn, but what if it was actually whatever causes the final days? Because we've heard it's female too, and, like, I feel like it is something inside the planet. And so I kind of wonder if that might be the case. Well, that's certainly ugly. It's kind of like the worm thing, but it's even worse. Because now it's a dragon. Blasphemy. Suddenly thinking of fan fiction things. Oh boy. Alright. Well, let's see what madness awaits us here and now.
You're mine!
Be here, I guess. Okay.
My turn!
I'm just following the NPC's leads. They know what they're doing. We don't want to be standing on red, I guess. Oh, now we do want to be standing on red. Graha, you are almost dead, and I don't like this. Alright. We want to stay in red. Okay. Pulling in some freaking What is the Alliance raid from Stormblood? What is it called? Ivalice. Some Ivalice crap. Okay. Not sure what it's gonna do to us. It is sending comets our way. Ow. Lie against the game. Lies and slander.
I may?
Alright, where do we want to go? Okay, we want to be pushed into white. We want to be spread. Alright, my bone stack's about to fall off. Okay. Want to stay in red, okay. Anytime you want, Graha. Pushed into the white.
I may?
Okay. Whew. That one death. That one death happened, but I am definitely gonna have to learn what is going on with that dumb boss. How to do the how to prevent the misdirection thing. And sad Shallan. Exceptionally sad because she doesn't know where her mama is, and her mama could have been one of those monsters she just killed for all she knows. I haven't even fully figured that out yet or not. It's just a possibility. A very unfortunate possibility, but a possibility all the same. What did I get? Vessel aiming, okay. Future is close, still fighting in the skies above. Silence. That was the worst of them, or at least I hope it was. See no trace of the person it once was. This must be the blasphemy they spoke of, the horrors of Amarat born anew. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. I still, just the fact that it could... Shallan's mom could be among these monsters we're killing is just gripping my mind at the moment, and it's driving me insane.
As I feared.
What is it?
The beast was there, and now it is no more. Yes?
Indeed. We saw it plain. But you didn't, did you?
I saw nothing. Not the blasphemy that perished here, nor the other men turned beasts. And because of this, I now see all too well. There is no ether. Where the creatures should be, I saw naught but emptiness.
Emptiness? That would mean...
Recall the words of the Watcher. 'Twas a stagnancy of ether, a cessation of flow, leading to decay and absence, that led the ancients to conclude their star was dying. This is the same phenomenon. The instant these people are seized by the transformation, their ether begins to rot and crumble away like dried mud. Until, from their corporeal forms to their very souls, naught remains.
But the beast spoke with its dying breath. Surely at least a sliver of the man it was endured.
Mayhap so. But even if the process was incomplete, it was little more than a faint residue.
Gods be good. You're saying they cannot be saved?
Not by any means known to me. Or by any means at all, like as not. For there is naught left to save.
They return not even to the ethereal sea.
These souls are lost. That's why they did what they did when they gave up their lives to summon Zodiac. It was to preserve their own souls, because their souls would be going away. My brain just exploded. That's why they were so willing to give up their lives, because...
The beasts rage on, their hunger insatiable. Even deprived of their master, they perpetuate his legacy of hate. Once proud sons and daughters of Thavnir, all of them, and now I spill their blood.
Vitra, my friends, I am heartened to see you safe.
You put your secret at risk.
Those closest to me already know the truth. A truth I must now share with one and all. Vitra, calamity has come to Radzatan. Our fair nation is rent by screams of pain and despair. More than ever, we require a strong leader to shepherd us through the storm. Reveal your true self to our people, Vitra, and guide us to salvation.
What madness is this, I-One? Thou dost forget thyself. Were we to reveal our duplicity, it would do naught but foster confusion and chaos. Nay, I shall remain the Satrap's loyal ally, and do battle with the beasts. Easing hearts and leading the people to safety is thy task, and thine alone. I ask that you remain at Ahewan's side, and render unto him what aid you may. I know not what lies ahead, but without you, Radzatan will not survive.
Take me with you. I am as at home fighting in the air as I am on land. Take me with you.
Were my words unclear? I require no assistance. Thy place is at Arhewan's side.
Estinian, here. The last thing you ever wanted. A link pearl. We'd gain much from knowing your elevated perspective. And it'll keep you from getting lonely. Which I know you won't.
You heard the man. Seems I'm coming with you after all.
Then I pray thy grip is iron. Be it on thy head if thou dost chance to fall.
Oh, come on. He rode on your sister, so, you know.
Now,
On Tiamat.
shall we?
If he can keep his balance easily enough. Do that Dragoon jump to get on its back. Stay safe, Estinian.
I fear it is as Vitra says. We will not survive this on our own. While I am loath to impose upon you again.
I would insist if you did not. 'Tis the very reason we have come.
Then once more I find myself without words to thank you properly. Let us return to the capital and plan our next course of action.
That still is blowing my mind that, like, that's why they were so willing to give up their lives to summon Zodiark, because they realized that if things continued as they were not going to exist when things were over and done with. So it was either die with the chance of being resurrected, which is what they planned for, according to Deus, or risk falling away into nothingness. And part of me thinks that, like, maybe Hydaelyn and the Watcher, or like Vinat and the Watcher, didn't realize this caveat, and that's why they were determined to stop Zodiark. Or also it could just be, you know, enough was enough. There was no reason they didn't want to sacrifice those that came after to bring back those that came before. But oh my goodness, it's just, it makes sense now. Like, Emmett had posed to us the question, do you really think half your number would be willing to sacrifice themselves to save the other? But would the ancients have really been willing to do such a thing? They did it to save themselves as much as to save the other half who remained. Oh man, that just blew my mind. Whew. Okay. With that bomb out of the way, Graha, I pray our mother's still alive somewhere. All life must end in death, yet death in turn gives birth to new life, such as the flow of ether. To think that natural cycle could be simply cut off, the very thought makes me shudder. After so long and so many sacrifices, we finally found a way to cure the tempered. But these poor souls, they vanish without a trace. Is there truly no saving them? While Estinian and Reacher defend Razatam from above, we on the ground must find a means to prevent these transformations, and soon. The stillness in the air puts me ill at ease. We must be wary. Worry not. I can see your ether and that of our companions. We have not suffered the fate of those unfortunate souls. Our radiant host has eliminated the immediate threat to the city, though it pains me to know those beasts were once my own people. There is no telling when or where the next transformation might occur. We must remain vigilant and steel ourselves for what is yet to come. Forgive me, my friends, but I must return to Megaduda for the time being. There I can better manage the crisis and dispatch my troops as the situation demands. In that case, we shall carry out an investigation of our own here in the city. Mayhap the residents can tell us more about the first of the transformations and the conditions under which it occurred. If we can ascertain what exactly triggered these tragic events, it may give us some insight into a possible solution. Time is of the essence. Let us split into 3 groups that we may cover more ground. Alice and I will see to Pax's path. Tancred and Y'shtola, pray make for Dharma. I'll leave Artha to Graha and you, Shallan. Any information you can gather on the first blasphemy or the manifestation of the final days here in the city would be most helpful. When we have completed our respective inquiries, let us reconvene in front of Megaduda, that we might share what we have learned from with the satrap. Shall we be off then? Artha is home to the High Crucible of Alchemia, whose alchemists forged many of our warding scales. It seems as good a place as any to begin our investigation, don't you think? I spoke briefly with Nuhadin, the chief alchemist there, on our last visit. He should be happy to answer our queries. Grahati is accompanying you, so don't use the Aethernet to get there. That's where we're going. And again, how very appropriate that they pair me off with Graha, because siblings. And even more appropriate because their mama might be in considerable danger. If she's even still alive, if she even still exists. Oh my. Shallan's really got it on her mind. Alright, sending my baby to the moon. He's going to the moon. I don't care. Until we've secured the future of the star, he's going to the moon. Oh, goodness, oh, why must my brain be so evil? I remember those red eyes. You were one of those scions who commissioned the scales from us, yes? I welcome you back to the High Crucible. What brings you here in these troubling times? We are assisting the satrap in investigating the crisis that plagues the city. Did you happen to catch sight of any of the creatures? I did. As I was going about my work, I was disturbed by crashing footsteps so powerful the very ground shook. I rushed outside and could not believe what I beheld. The night sky was burning. Suddenly I heard panicked screams coming from the direction of the Balshan Bazaar. In the next instant, a monstrous beast poked its head from amidst the stalls. A handful of the Radiant rushed to the scene, only to be sent sprawling as the Fiend and its minions propelled them skyward. So the blasphemy came from the vicinity of the markets. This knowledge may prove useful. Thank you for sharing your tale. Well, I do believe we now know where we should inquire next. To the bazaar, then. Graha? Graha? Are you using your levitation spell? Can you come down here? Thank you. Alright, there we go. His levitation spell wore off. Ah! Don't scare me like that, boy! So this is Thavnarian weave. I must say, it bears a resemblance to the traditional fabrics of Corvos. Small wonder, really, given it's just across the water. Not that I am much of an expert in Corvosi culture, of course. I had not the occasion to visit my ancestral home since coming to Sharlayan, and like as not, I will never reside there again. That said, in recent days, I felt more acutely aware of my heritage, and grateful for it. It is thanks to my forebears that I inherited the royal eye, and with it the wisdom of Alag. And so, well, I simply hope that my countrymen are safe. And one day, when this calamity is but a memory, I would like to see Corvos again, if only once. See, now it makes even more sense that, you know, Shala and her mom would have fled to Thavner, since it's actually just really close to where they were already. Just saying. Connections make sense. Ugh, sudden yawning fit again. Forgive me, but my shop is closed until further notice. Needless to say, we've more pressing concerns these days. We have come not in search of wares, but information concerning the enormous fiend that tore through the bazaar. Did you perchance witness anything? Afraid not, my friend. I was here the whole time, so I only saw its little minions. Made a mess of the place, they did. While all that was going on, the great big one tore through the west side of the bazaar. You'd have better luck asking there. Is something the matter, traveler? If you are lost, perhaps I could be of assistance. Your offer is most appreciated. We are not lost, but we are in need of information. Might you know anything about the gargantuan beast that rampaged through the bazaar? Aye, I saw it all, though I wish I had not. I was going about my work when all of a sudden a piercing scream cut through the air. I turned around, and there was the fiend, its massive body bursting through the entryway with the force of a tidal wave. And then it was gone as quickly as it came. Sisters, have mercy. What is happening to the world? What am I to do? Is nowhere safe? Settle down, friend. The danger has passed, at least for now. If it's not too painful to remember, could you tell us what you saw? First, I heard the screams. Then a horde of ravening beasts came charging toward us. One of them was huge, bigger than a Merid, throwing people like rag dolls, and it was eating them. I hid under the counter. I saw others do the same. But the shrieking and wailing kept getting louder. More voices in the throng. Beasts or victims, I couldn't tell. I knew not what was happening. I still don't. That is enough, my good man. You were brave to share with us your tale. Many of your fellow merchants are safe. The High Crucible, too, has survived mostly unscathed. Pray stay close with your friends and loved ones, and rest your body and mind while you are able. I suspect that this is the most we can expect the people here to tell us. I think it best if we find a place outside the bazaar where we might rest and review our findings. No more levitation spells. Graha! I said no more levitation spells! Stop it! Stop your levitating! Why? Graha! There we go. Okay. Levitation spell wore off again. You're having too much fun with that, Graha. Oh, goodness. Judging by their accounts, the transformation had already occurred by the time the beast reached the bazaar. It tore through the west side of the bazaar and headed toward the Aetherite Plaza. In other words, the blasphemy may have first appeared in this vicinity. That being the case, the people in that Mayhain can surely tell us more. Going after that enormous beast, are you? Aye, I saw it, including the very instant that poor bastard transformed. Damn the gods for putting me there. It started over there by the window. A few men, merchants probably, talking and drinking. Conversation must have taken a turn for the worse. Next thing I know, their leader, I suppose he was, buries his head in his hands and black mist was swirling about him. Then his whole body bursts apart, and there stands a hideous, slavering beast, massive and foul, all gaping maws and bulging eyes. His friends started shrieking, and then black mist comes again, until the change takes them too. The stuff of nightmares, I tell you. Nightmarish indeed. Incidentally, do you perchance know who these merchants were? No, I'm a decorator by trade. Not much cause to mingle with their sort. I saw Melil the barmaid chatting with them, though. She might know something. Even after repairing all that damage, it'll take a while for business to pick up again. You mean the blasphemy? That's what the Radiant have been calling it, anyway. I saw it too, we all did. I was standing here at the counter as Merhaid poured me a drink, when suddenly there came this dreadful sound, like a pained, angry groan. It was unlike anything I'd ever heard. I turned around in shock, and from an ominous cloud of black mist rose the creature, enormous and ghastly to behold. As for what happened next, to recall it sends shivers up my spine. By some stroke of fortune, I was able to slip outside before the beast got its claws on me. But the sight that greeted me offered me no solace. The blue sky above turned red as blood. Mareed, myself, and the other survivors clung to each other for dear life until the Radiant host came to our aid. Wait, did I hear that correctly? The beast manifested before the sky began to burn? I'm certain of it. The windows here offer a clear view of the sky, and I saw nothing out of the ordinary until the beast appeared and began to rage. Oh, hello there. Welcome to Maria's Mayhain. What can we get you? We've not come for libations, but rather for information. You are Malil, yes? We are investigating the so-called blasphemy on the satrap's behalf. We hear that one of your customers, a merchant, was the first to undergo the transformation. What can you tell us about him? He was something of a regular here, especially of late. Khazal was his name. He ran his own consortium, dealing primarily with exports of Thavnarian specialties. It's through him we met Matsuya. Yes, the names ring a bell. Didn't you meet them both before your first trip, both on your first trip to Thavnar? If I recall correctly, Khazal ran a trading operation in Yedlimad, and it was there that you made Matsuya's acquaintance. Yes, that is the same Khazal, no doubt. A rather successful man, from what I gather. That said, it was clear he had fallen on hard times of late. Those ghastly towers popping up everywhere cannot have been good for business. Even now with the towers gone, the collapse of the Empire has led to all sorts of problems elsewhere. The market for luxuries is surely not what it once was. Trying times for the head of a trading consortium, indeed. Khazal was a compassionate man. Even after his own business suffered, he did what he could to provide for the artisans, fishermen, and many others who counted on him to sell their wares. Indeed, that was the very topic of yesterday's meeting, as far as I could hear. Yet as they discussed matters further, Khazal's tone grew grave and grim, and it was then that... Forgive me. I would not have you recall the memory if it brings you pain. If I could, I would ask just one more thing. Did you notice anything unusual about Khazal in particular? Please, anything at all. Sorry, nothing springs to mind. Perhaps someone else can help you. Khazal lived for his work and had no family that I know of. His employees and associates knew him best, but they too are lost to us. Still, perhaps his neighbors know something I do not. Can I direct you to them if you believe it would help? What do you say? Is Gra still following me? No, he's not following me. Thanks to Miliel, it appears we have a new lead. Let us leave no stone unturned. Khazal made his home in Kama, a nearby residential area. From what I gather, Khazal lived there since childhood and was known throughout the neighborhood. Kama. The name is new to me. How do we get there? I'll write down some directions. I cannot promise that you will find what you seek there, but if nothing else, it is a start. Come, let us see where this lead takes us. Gra's accompanying you. Alright, he's still following me. Where are we going? We are going quite a ways. This door opens? Okay, it does. Graha and his levitation spells. The key is still going. Let's see. After leaving the Mahane, we are to retrace our steps and head back toward the Aetherite Plaza. Residents of Kama should know more of Khazal's circumstances. If we follow Miliel's directions, we'll be there in no time. It's funny how it becomes the sprint animation when we use Peloton while they're accompanying you. Like, even though it's not the sprint animation for yourself, it's the sprint animation for the person following you. Alright, from here... Direct me, Raha. From here we ascend the stairs. Ah, this must be huge, in which case we should take the path leading southeast. Southeast. If we keep going this way, we should arrive in Kama before long. Walking these unfamiliar streets is quite the adventure, is it not? I can only hope we can explore Razatan at our leisure once the crisis has passed. Man, just the despair, because, like, Shelyn would never have had a chance to introduce Shalana to her mom. This must be Kama. We've arrived at last. Let us begin questioning the residents without delay. No doubt someone here can tell us more about Khazal. Given recent events, I imagine many are taking shelter indoors. Khazal, you say? Yes, I've known him since he was a boy. If there was ever a man who was born to be a merchant, it was him. Always early to depart and late to return, he spends his days procuring the finest wares and seeking out willing customers. You could say it came to him as easily as breathing. Sadly, business was flagging of late. No surprise, really, what with how dangerous travel has become. He was cooped up in his house from dawn till dusk the other day, no doubt racking his brain for a way to turn his fortunes around. Then at night, I heard his door open. I looked out to see Khazal sitting on a bench, his head hung low. A man with the weight of the world on his shoulders. I see, the situation must have been quite dire indeed. Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary? Nothing to speak of. Other than the troubles with his consortium, he was the same old Khazal, cordial and honest like always. These questions you are asking, has something happened to him? He wasn't caught up in that terrible incident at the bazaar, was he? I don't travel much these days, but my daughters told me not to venture outside. Stuck in here as I am, I've only heard a little about the bazaar goings-on. Rest assured, the city is safe for now, but the situation may change without warning. I urge you, stay close to your daughter, and be prepared to take refuge should the satrap order it. Could you come back another time? I just woke up and I'm not exactly in the mood for idle chit-chat. Well, that's one way to avoid the panic, I suppose. Pardon our intrusion. You may not have noticed, but a great danger has come to Thavner. I encourage you to stay alert and prepare to flee the city should the situation become dire. But before we leave you in peace, pray, allow us to ask a question or two. Did you know a local merchant by the name of Khazal? If so, did you notice anything unusual about him recently? Khazal? Aye, I know him. In fact, we just spoke the other day. Like many others, his business was doing poorly. Still, it seemed as though he had managed to turn things around, thanks to a generous order from Ruveda Fibers. Why, he was practically dancing in the streets. I haven't spoken with him since, but I assume all went well. Jina Baha might be able to tell you more, though. As I recall, he was the one who brokered the arrangement. Jinjaba at Ruveda Fibers. This sounds promising. I wonder why these are square-shaped. If I'm not mistaken, these stairs lead to Dharma. It is quite the sight, the red sky above. During the final days of yore, the heavens burned and the stars fell. Creation magics ran amok. That was my assumption when I saw Amarat. Perhaps the ancients believed the same, that the terror of a single powerful individual was the cause of their calamity. And yet, the self-same horrors now manifest themselves before our eyes. What could it be that sets the heavens aflame and turns ordinary men into beasts? From what I've learned, our man Kazal was truly at wit's end, and it all came to a head at the Mahane. Perhaps his arrangement with Ruveda Fibers did not go according to plan. I suspect this Jinahaba will be able to tell us more. They're farming silkworms. This must be the Ruveda Fibers, where we can find Jinahaba. And hurry, I say, there's no time to waste. Pardon me, but you are in charge of buying and selling here, yes? We have a few questions we'd like to... I'm sorry, but I simply don't have time to chat. If you haven't noticed, we have our hands full at the moment. We must carry all our wares and equipment to safety before those accursed beasts return. In that case, might we be of assistance? Perhaps we could speak when the job is done. Very well. You can start by helping us move our equipment. Ask the others what to put where. And you can carry our fabrics. Go through that door and speak with Kamala. She will tell you the rest. Remember, these textiles are our livelihood. Handle them with care. This area is for employees only. Out, out! What's that? You've come to help? Oh, praise be to Mendruva. Kind stranger, I welcome your assistance. On your way here, you pass 3 storehouses, yes? I'd like you to carry that small crate to Nafrabal by the storehouse near the hatchery. The crate of clothing is for Manua, and the massive crate there goes to Zamira in the middle storehouse. Watch your back with that one. Those are all the crates we have ready. Once they have been delivered, consider your work here complete. Limited time to complete the tasks, should you fail. Okay. Like, great. Thread, is it? Then you've come to the right place. We thank you for your aid. If you have any crates of finished products such as carpets, clothing, and the like, pray bring them here to our primary storehouse. A crate full of clothing, is it? I can take it off your hands. Many thanks for the delivery. Oof, this is gonna be difficult. Lift with your legs, not your back, Shalyn. I say, you're quite the brawny one, aren't you? Good thing that. Never know when you'll need to defend yourself in these unpredictable times. A crate full of fabrics, is it? Exactly what I hope to receive. Here, let me put that away for you. You've carried all the crates to the storehouses, you say? And so quickly, too. Why, I've never seen anyone so strong. I and my associates will see to the rest, so please return to Jinabaha and assure him that our work is proceeding apace. To tell the truth, we are grateful for this distraction. Too many terrible happenings of late, but generous souls like yourself give me hope that we may emerge from this trial even stronger. I pray we meet again in more peaceful times. You've done as I asked, have you? If Kamala is satisfied with your work, then so am I. You have done us all a great favor, traveler. I too have delivered the instruments and apparatus entrusted to me. You both have my thanks. With our wares safely stored away, we will not lose any more to those fiends. I take it your establishment did not escape the attack unscathed. We did not. Thankfully, most of our workers had already left for the day, but those of us still here saw it all. We looked to the burning skies in confusion, and then, before we could even begin to make sense of it, a hideous creature burst through the doors, shrieking. We ran for our lives, but one of my colleagues was not so fortunate. He cried out, a scream of such agony, such terror, and in the next instant he too sprouted fearsome claws. The sight of it caused another fellow to panic, and then he too transformed. I'm sorry, there was something you wanted to ask? Indeed. You knew the merchant Khazal, didn't you? Did you not? I believe he had some dealings with your establishment. Khazal, I know him well. We'd arranged for his consortium to deliver a large shipment of fabrics, but in the end we received a better offer and had to turn him down. I understand his business is struggling, but so is ours. Another of our reliable trading partners agreed to transport the goods for a much smaller commission, and we'd have been fools to refuse. I felt terrible for withdrawing the offer, but you must understand we simply had no choice. He tried to put on a brave face when I delivered the news, but his dejection and despair were plain as day. He said he'd discuss it with his associates, but I could tell he had all but given up hope. Dejection and despair. You remember what we saw in Vanaspati, yes? Soldiers and jungle dwellers pushed to the very brink, turning into beasts one after the next. It would seem the same phenomenon occurred here. The poor craftsmen attacked by the fiends, as well as those that witnessed it, all undergoing the change. I suspect that everything began with Khazal. By all accounts, it was he who suffered from the most profound and piercing despair. Wait, could that be it? That such intense emotions were what triggered his transformation? Much remains unclear, but I believe we are drawing closer to an answer. At any rate, we must discuss our findings with the others. Can the despair in a man's own heart consign him to such a terrible fate? We were to reconvene with the others in front of Megaduda, were we not? That should be just outside. With any luck, they will have already returned from their own investigations. My friend, we must take our leave. I pray that your establishment is spared further tragedy, but remember, your lives are far more precious than any wares. If you are ordered to flee, do so without hesitation. Indeed, I thank you for your concern, and pray you two take care as well. Man. And Shallan is herself struggling with potential despair. She's filled with terror and despair at the moment, and she is trying to put on a brave face. Honestly, probably the blessing of light is what's keeping her from transforming herself, if that indeed protects you from it. Who knows? Finished your rounds and ready to share? Oh, Jubs, guess what I've thought up? Shallan's mom might have been one of the beasts in the dungeon.
Indeed. We thought to share what we have gleaned, that we might together gain a greater understanding of present circumstances.
Fortuitous timing. Alize and I completed our own investigations not long ago.
Then we should take a moment to compare notes. Shall we begin with the two of you?
Which is why I say Shallan is really struggling with despair right now. Yes, I've asked myself this many times. Why is my brain so evil?
So the merchant Khazal was gravely concerned about his business in the days preceding his untimely end.
The tales we heard were much the same. The first victims to be changed into blasphemies were all overcome with anguish of one manner or another. Then those who saw their loved ones stolen before their eyes succumbed to a similar panic, setting in motion a chain of transformations.
Fear, unease, despair. These negative feelings serve as a catalyst.
If so, then it is not unlike the calamity that befell the ancients. With their creation magics, they unwittingly gave form to untold horrors. Had they simply lost control, surely it would have manifested in many forms, not all of them monstrous. Yet somehow, this phenomenon is triggered solely by the darkness in their hearts, a common thread with what we now witness.
Common, but not identical. While the beasts the ancients faced were forged with magic alone, those of today are born of sentient beings. Why remains to be seen, but there is one fundamental difference between us and our predecessors. Our souls are sundered, whereas theirs were not. Perhaps that single variable makes all the difference.
If I may, there was another detail that troubled me. We have it on good authority that Karl Zahl's transformation took place before the skies began to burn.
What? If that's true, then the situation is more dire than we realized. It means even if there's no ominous sign presaging the final days, anyone, anywhere, has the potential to become a beast. Even in lands we thought safe, even as we speak.
Look! It's the satrap! The satrap!
All the ideas. We're just tearing ourselves apart.
My countrymen, I am relieved and heartened to see you strong and safe. While the danger has not yet passed, far from it, allow me to assure you that the beasts that raged within the city walls have been exterminated to the last. Outside this sanctuary, the brave men and women of the Radiant Host and our dragon ally continue to battle our unholy foes. I pray these tidings put your minds at ease and help you calm your hearts. Have faith that we shall soon conquer this terrible trial.
Your Excellency, is there any word from Palaka's stand? My grandson was bound for there yesterday, and I worry for his life.
We are still awaiting a report, but I promise you, as soon as I have aught to share...
Your Excellency, I bring grave news.
You are?
I'm Matsya of Akyali, a humble fisherman. Ah, I remember you from our first visit. Wait, you're... But no, that can wait. When the skies turned red, I set off for Palaka's stand, fearing for the safety of a friend. But as I drew near the village, I saw dreadful beasts all about.
No! Gods have mercy! Your Excellency! Save my grandson, I beg of you!
We will spare no effort to save all we can, but you must remain calm.
Calm? You tell me to be calm? You saw those beasts? They tore our bravest warriors limb from limb. What if we are too late, huh? They catch him, sink their fangs into him? The fangs!
Calm down, old lady.
Get away from her, now!
We got through all this and now it's back again!
Damn it! We've got to kill them before it spreads.
We'll handle this. See the townspeople to safety.
Run! As fast as you can!
The kid had a Madelaine's hairstyle. Oh my gosh! Oh! Wheresoever there is suffering and despair.
Vitra, our people, you must save them.
Oh no! Oh no!
My son.
Enough. You must run. For their sake and your own. Yes. We'll survive. You must.
Good boy, Gra. Give hope. That's what I told Xenos, is hope will triumph. Believe in that. Believe in it. Hope will triumph. Hope will triumph. That's what I told him, and that's what I believe. There's your Stella going back and forth between black and white magic.
Be strong, my friends! Fear not, for we will defeat these abominations! Brave men and women of the Radiant Host, lend your Stola and Thancred your aid. Let not a single beast escape. The rest of you, flee this place. Carry the wounded if you must. Head indoors or underground.
Has pulling out his leadership skills.
Above all, stay calm. No beast will follow you. We will see to that.
Alphino! Alice! Leave the city to us!
and make for Palika's stand at once! Matsya, show my friends to the village! I promise you, they're more capable than the host's finest!
Right! Go with them, will you? We will save these people. As many as we can.
You stay safe, brother, please. I can't lose you too. Speak with your Stola. Yeah, we spoke with her all right. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was a scene. Oh my goodness. Oh. Damn it all. Staying calm isn't exactly my forte. We meet again. You do remember me, yes? You saved my skin twice over in Yedlamad. I always have to hesitate to say that town's name. It does not roll off my tongue very well. And now I find myself turning to you for help once more. But let us tarry here no longer. We must save Palakistan, whatever it takes. Matsya, it pains me to put you in harm's way, but I would ask your aid as well. Of course, Palakistan is not far, just down that hill. But as I told His Excellency before, the path is blocked by terrible creatures. I had no choice but to turn back. In that case, this is what we shall do. Shallan, I must ask that you take the lead and dispatch any beasts you encounter. Alice and I will keep Matsya hidden amidst the trees and follow when the path is clear. There's no telling what dangers await us. Keep your eyes peeled. Oh, goodness. Here, Quester. Help me. Oh, just don't do what you did in that dungeon and misdirect me. I still don't know how to deal with that. Don't be like that, boss. Goodness. Is this the new... Yeah, this is a new part of the map. Okay. In this Aether Currents, I could go hunting. Aether Currents. Oh. Let's tune this Aether right in the middle of this madness, shall we? I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine. There is nothing wrong with me. What's happened to them? Good work, Shallan, though I worry for Matsya. cannot be. We must heal those we can, and quickly. I see no beasts, but stay on your guard. Though the villager's injuries do not appear to be life-threatening, he does not respond to your efforts. His breathing grows more ragged and shallow, and his vacant eyes are those of a man who has lost the will to live. Even if I wake, the nightmare goes on. No, leave me to sleep. You call out, but the man does not respond. The cooling body has already begun to stiffen. Massive wounds suggest the villager was gored by a great beast. Terrible beast. The villager has no pulse, nor do they appear to be breathing. When I last came here to sell my fish, everyone was so bright and cheerful. This is a nightmare. The horror. I pray that the sisters will see us through this calamity. There. You'll be fine. The pain will soon pass. His wounds are deep, but he may yet be saved. Go and help others. Have you come to help us? Too late. Too late. My family. My friends. Are these the only villagers who survived? I can only hope others managed to flee, but if the rest have been turned into beasts, by the 12. Let us do what we can to see that the damage spreads no further, and no matter what comes, we must keep our spirits high, lest we ourselves suffer a similar fate. Hey, level 86. I've learned Fantaxy 4. Is that something I need to put on my bar, or does it... Let's see. Yep, it needs to be put on... Of course it needs to be put on the bar somewhere. I have no room. I have no room. I guess I can just remember to scroll to the other thing for dance partner. Why? I can tend to the rest. Pray look after Matsuya. No doubt what we have seen here weighs even heavier on his heart than ours. Oh, Shallan! This is Yerovet, the elder here. He is hurt, but praise be to the sisters, he still lives. Young Matsuya here has told me everything. I have not the words to express my gratitude for your aid. When the heavens began to burn, we were afraid, but did our best to carry on as we always have done. Until today, when those unholy beasts came pouring into the village, a flood of midnight and death. There are no words to describe what followed. Men and women I have known since they were babes, struck down by the creatures, only to rise again and to join the murderous horde in the guise of those same hideous fiends. In the chaos, a handful of our villagers fled for their lives. I can only hope they have found their way to safety. Mattia, do you perchance remember Karasaf and Mevan, the young couple who always brought you their finest catches? How could I forget, Elder? When I first came to peddle my wares, desperate to eke out a living, they showed me such kindness. Others shunned me as an outsider, as is their way, but Kesaraf and Mavan bought my fish and sung its praises. They turned my fortunes around. Alas, I fear they are in terrible danger. I saw them running toward Agama Temple, one of those beasts in close pursuit. They had their child, still but a tiny babe. To elude these fiends while caring for one so young is an impossible task, surely. I beg of you, go to their aid. I want to help them, yet I am but a fisherman. I cannot face beasts on my own. Will you come with me? Oh, thank you. Agama Temple lies west of here. We must hurry. Oh boy, and the mention of babies. Again, Shallan's got in her head. Alright. Sending Shalana to the moon as soon as possible. It's like call up Cryo. Send my baby to the moon now! There's marbles here. There's an aether current. Aether current. The end of the world, and I'm grabbing aether currents. Oh, aether currents. We know what really matters to me. The temple is just ahead. It was built by those who worship Saint Agama, but has sadly fallen into disrepair in recent years. If my friends made it this far, no doubt they are hiding somewhere amidst the ruins. No, please, stay back! That was Kesaraf. Oh no, that is not good. I'll take a look. Please do. The cry came from the ruins. You must hurry. I don't have time for you monkeys. I have to fight the end of the world. Where is Kesaraf? Oh boy. That's Kesaraf. Karasaf. Sorry. Been saying his name wrong. The man lies motionless on the ground, bearing a grievous wound. I'm sorry, Shallan. I tried to stay behind, but I couldn't. cannot be. Is someone... anyone... My arms so heavy. And my legs... I cannot feel my legs. My wife fled with our daughter. I need to find them. Need to be with them. I need. Karasaf! No, Karasaf, you must stay strong! More time. I thought I had. I don't want to die. Thank you. Please, find them. Mivan still lives, and she has their child. We must search the jungle between here and Palakistan. There is nowhere else she could have gone, I think. Forgive me, Karasaf. Once we have saved your wife and child, we will return and lay you to rest. You see no tracks or other signs of recent travel. Mivan and the child must be elsewhere. If Mivan and her daughter came through this area recently, you see no evidence of their passage. Did you see any sign of them? I found nothing! Perhaps the beasts have chased them farther from the village. Oh, gods above, I beseech you, pray deliver Mivan and her little one to safety. Meanwhile, in the skies above Thavner, Estinian and Vitra, I assume.
No more enemies to trouble us here. It's me. How fare you below? Understood. I will inform Vritra. Chaos and panic sweep Raz-Khan, and many more have succumbed to the transformations. Amidst the fray, Ahawan fell, protecting a grief-stricken father. My friends fight alongside your Radiant host to secure the capital. Beasts have been sighted in Palakistan as well. We have divided our forces in hopes of quelling the threat there. Of small solace is that we now know what triggers the transformation. As my companions tell it,
so it is the very fear and despair in their hearts which inflict this abhorrent punishment upon them. A nightmare from which my children will never awake. O capricious and cruel fate, they are undeserving of such condemnation.
will you wallow in sorrow or rise to the occasion? Raz-Khan is leaderless. Before he passed, Ahawan sought to reveal the truth to his people. Honor his wishes.
To what end? To breed a new conflict between dragon and man. These claws could reduce thee to shreds with a touch. These jaws crush thy bones to dust. Only through my proxy could I walk with my children. Without him, I am a bringer of fear. No different from the beasts which beleaguer them.
Perhaps so. Only in death were Hraesvelgr and Shiva united. Indeed, whenever man and dragon have come together, death has ever been the inevitable result. It was our fear of your kind that sparked a nigh endless war. Fear and hate of which Nidhogg drank deep as he laid waste to my homeland. And in turn, I took my revenge on his brood. Blood for blood, pain for pain. I thought nothing of theirs, only of mine. And yet, were the chasm between us too vast and too deep, Hraesvelgr would not have borne Isael to battle and our rescue. He would never have entrusted a mortal champion with one of his eyes, and the Dragonsong War would still rage on. And I would still wage a never-ending war of violence and vengeance. The future of our star be damned. I cannot speak for Ahawan's greater goals. Yet I know that he served you, served your people, long and true. In this time of unprecedented crisis, he turned to you. You could do worse than to place your trust in him. It will not be easy, but the future of Raz-Khan hangs in the balance. We have company. The hour has come, Vritra! It's all or nothing!
I really don't want to, but I think this is a decent spot to take a break, because I really kind of need one. I need a breather, I need to get something to drink, and go to the bathroom. It is almost midnight, but I don't have work tomorrow, so I can keep playing if I want. So, quick break, and then we will continue this madness. Thank you all so much for watching. Never cease to be amazing, and bye for now.